Okay, yes, I have done 2 Godzilla crappy pastas and troll pastas. But these, before we start, these are all written by separate people. Keep that in mind. And yes, this will be a 3-in-1 because these stories are really short. The longest one here is about like a few lines long. Well, not a few, more like 20. Anyways, hate to dwindle, let's get on to the stories. Jeff the Killer versus Godzilla. Oh yeah, boy. What am I doing? It's not 2016 anymore. Anyways, one day, Jeff the Killer was on another one of his killing sprees, when suddenly it was interrupted. Just as he was about to murder someone, people started panicking, ignoring him as they evacuated their homes. Jeff then thought, what the fucking hell is going on? Before he knew it, he's just answered his own question, as a radioactive reptilian behemoth showed up, destroying everything in its path. It was the king of the monsters himself, Godzilla. Jeff, being a murderous psychopath that he is, ran towards the monster, knife in hand, yelling, "Go to sleep," as he started stabbing the monster's massive foot. Little did he know, however, that the stabbing had absolutely no effect whatsoever, not even a sting, or even a single sensation of poking, for that matter. All the radioactive beast did was continue walking, stepping on Jeff in the process. Just like that, the psychotic murderer was no more, reduced to nothing but a flattened mess of flesh and bone, squashed like a bug by the king of the monsters himself. But of course, Jeff should have known that no man, sane or insane, could ever defeat Godzilla with a fucking kitchen knife. I messed up. I didn't mean to say Sonic.exe versus NES Godzilla. I forgot about this. Let's see what it is labeled as. It is a troll pasta. So what you're about to read is not real. So now, this is not a 2015 fanfiction. Anyways, the demon known as Sonic.exe has been torturing Tails, Knuckles, Robotnik, and his other friends for years now. He was waiting for someone to find his discs so he could find new friends. One day he was chasing Tails through hide and seek and was about to attack him, but before he did, he saw an orb of light engulfing him. Sonic was then teleported to a world that was completely black. All Sonic saw when he looked up was a large red bar, and said Sonic, one that said Sonic and one that said red. "Where am I?" said Sonic.exe. He then saw 2 glowing red dots hanging in midair. He then saw that they weren't dots. They were eyes. Eyes are of the most terrifying creature Sonic.exe had ever seen. He was large, red, and had a grimace that reached side to side of his face. It looked as if it was turned inside out and had long spider red legs. He had said to Sonic, "Red, this is Zenith, the one place where you have no power." "You fool! I am God! Who even are you?" "I am Red. This is where you will spend the rest of your life." "We shall see about that." Red scratched Sonic with his long talons. His shoulder began to bleed, but healed in seconds. Sonic had lunged at Red and sent him flying. Red wasn't about to be defeated by a small demonic hedgehog. Red swiped at Sonic several times, but before he did, Sonic had been engulfed in black fog. He used this to his advantage to dodge all of Red's attacks. Red became irritated and his eyes glowed. Sonic was confused at this, but then he understood. Red breathed out a spout of fire that covered the entire black area. Sonic's cloud of fog disappeared. Red picked up Sonic and was about to swallow him whole, but Sonic did a spin attack and escaped Red's grip. Red then transformed. His legs were replaced with fins, and he was flying. Sonic.exe ran towards Jesus Christ. So epic. Ran towards Red, but Red sent out a large intestine-like extremity with teeth at Sonic. Sonic dodged it with ease. Jesus! Calm down here. Sonic.exe jumped and started jumping on Red. Red jumped up and stabbed Sonic with his large tail. Red shot hot metal spikes out of his mouth at Sonic. Sonic dodged them and then scratched Red. Jesus, dude. Scratching them is not doing anything. It's like using struggle in Pokemon. Red was temporarily stunned. Sonic used this to his advantage. Yes, he used that twice. He hit Red with all of his power, converged into a small ball of energy. Red was then in great pain and decided the only option was to transform again. He turned into his flying form, grew his legs back, and grew wings. He then flew up and slammed down onto He grabbed Sonic and was about to eat him again. Sonic.exe then threw another ball of energy into Red's mouth. Sonic.exe thought Red was dead. Sonic. Ready for round 2? Red was not done. He had gotten up and his eyes began to glow red. The same glowing orb was consuming Sonic. He was teleported to a large hellish place where everything was on fire. Then suddenly there was Red in his final form. Sonic was about to destroy Red. He charged up another ball of energy, but Red fired breath at him. He burned Sonic.exe to a crisp. Finally a winner. Red had killed Sonic.exe. Tails, Knuckles, Robotnik, and what was Sonic.exe, but is now just Sonic, had been brought back to life, but Red wasn't done. Still today, he's torturing the Four in Zenith, and waiting for someone to find the NES, Godzilla cartridge. God, that was the longest one. God, I can't keep doing this. Oh well, one more story. Godzilla vs. Slender Man. This is probably the best one. Slender Man was hunting down yet another victim. This one had already collected 4 of the signs. Slender Man suddenly heard a screaming sound and saw the victim running away with a bunch of other people, not giving a fuck that Sonic Slender Man was there. Veins started throbbing in Slender Man's head. Why weren't people scared of fucking Slender Man? He looked around for the thing that dare make people not afraid of him. Slenderman suddenly heard a weird sound coming from a large thing. A really weird sound and a really large thing. He also smelled something like guts of a guy who just tried to kill a kaiju with a kitchen knife from... Whoa! I did not know those 2 stories were connected because, look, they were written by 2 separate people. Anyways, Slender Man was really pissed off, so he marched up to the thing and tried to kill it with his death stare. The thing didn't give a fuck. Slender Man turned a bright crimson with rage and tried to kill it. It still didn't give a fuck. Eventually, Slender Man just kept jumping there and trying to kill it. Dumbass Slender, you can't fucking kill Godzilla with a death stare. You're only about 1/100th of his height, and he can't see you. Godzilla just kept destroying the city, and Slender Man was wiped out by a blast of atomic breath. Yeah, that sounds about right. Let's all take just like a deep breath here. Because that was 3. Those were all crappy pastas, by the way. Including the middle one. Not the middle one. Sonic.exe versus Red. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I think I need to find a new crappy pasta.